Ma is a 2019 American psychological thriller directed by Tate Taylor of The Help fame and written by Scotty Landis. It stars Octavia Spencer, Juliette Lewis, Diana Silvers, Corey Fogelmanis, Gianni Paolo, Michaela Miller, Luke Evans, and in a cameo role, Academy Award-winning actor. That's right, Allison Janney. This film, selected by Vincent, features Octavia Spencer as a middle-aged woman who befriends a group of teenagers that she lets party in her basement. But then she terrorizes the hell out of them. This film was selected by Vincent as we close out Boo-tober here on the Micheaux Mission. Vincent, what say you of Ma?
Ma frustrated and ultimately disappointed me.
Ooh.
It really did. Because I had really high hopes.
Interesting.
For this film.
Why so?
Because it touches on some social topics that I find endlessly fascinating.
Okay.
I call it the Lisa Turtle thing.
Lisa Turtle.
Lisa Turtle, who is the character that Lark Voorhees played on Saved by the Bell.
Oh, okay.
The early 80s kind of young people comedy came on Saturday morning.
Yeah, Saturday morning sitcom.
And Lisa Turtle was, frankly, the black kid.
Yes.
In the crew.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always fascinated by that kid. Like the black kid in the crew. Like, why are you in this crew? Like, what happened that you ended up as the black kid in the crew? You know, it happens.
It does.
It just happen. You know, you grew up in this neighborhood, this, that, and the other. And certainly the characters in this film, including Ma, are closer to this age where this happened initially than not. Ma is, as you mentioned, Octavia Spencer plays Sue Ann, who lives in this town of Franklin, Ohio, and through a series of you know, fairly believable events, befriends this group of teenagers. These are teenagers that are underage by definition because they're teenagers. They want to buy alcohol, and they utilize the tried and true technique that teenagers have used forever. They find an adult
that will do it
to buy them the alcohol outside the liquor store. Sue Ann is the adult that they find, and then Sue Ann forms this relationship with the kids. And then, as you say, things, of course, go horribly wrong. But as you find out fairly quickly, she has a connection,
yes,
to these students' parents because they all used to go to high school together. And again, she was a black kid in this white environment. And again, as a kid who grew up in an integrated neighborhood, as a kid who had white friends, as a kid who, you kind of saw this, I'm always fascinated by that dynamic.
Okay.
Like what does this look like? What are the mechanics of the friendship? What are the microaggressions that the black kid has to deal with? What are the macroaggressions that the black kid has to deal with? Do they deal with them at all? Like, what does that look like? And oftentimes when we see this configuration in fiction, it's not addressed at all.
Nope.
Like again, Lisa Turtle was the black kid in this group, and her race was never acknowledged except in two ways. A, she wasn't allowed to date one of the other boys in the main group B, whenever she had to have a date, it was always they went and found a black kid because you can't kind of disrupt it.
And while you're saying like not allowed, you mean not plot wise,
production like plot wise, like clearly she's a very pretty girl, but no one ever really showed any interest in her. And again, you see this throughout these shows. Like everybody listening to this has watched television, seen movies, seen this dynamic where it's the black person who is kind of a eunuch and desexualized, because we can't have that. And for approximately 20 minutes, it seems like Ma is going to address that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not really a spoiler because it happens fairly quickly that you realize that Sue-Ann has this connection to the parents of the teenagers that she has befriended. All of them white parents. They went to high school together. And it seems like maybe they're going to deal with it a little bit. And they don't.
Nope.
They don't. And that was very disappointing to me. Because like I said, it was right
It was right there. Yeah.
Like it's right there. So that's the first and biggest disappointment.
Okay.
That there's that. Second, I felt like the film didn't trust me as an audience member. Like, again, I think the first 20 or so minutes, you realize in this setting that it's going to be this cross-generational thing. Like, there's enough breadcrumbs, it's enough foreshadowing that you think, okay, there's going to be some type of twist where Ma is connected, and I'm just going to call Sue-Ann Ma, because that's what they talk about, connected to these kids.
Mm-hmm.
But then like a half hour in, you start getting flashbacks.
Yeah.
That just very plainly and awkwardly lay it out, which just as an execution, again, the script doesn't trust me as the audience to pick it up. So then there's that. And that kind of bothered me. And then I think what disappointed me the most is that logistically, this film doesn't really make sense.
There you go.
You know, it's funny, we were talking before we were talking about the Halloween candy, and we had the exchange, and I told you, you gotta had a candy wrapped up, and this is just sort of 21st century parenting. This notion that these kids are going to this middle-aged woman's house and it never gets out. 5 kids. All right. Maybe these 5 kids. All right, maybe these 5 kids. Even that. Like you know, not for nothing. We were talking before the show. Like, you know, we went and visited my daughter this weekend. My daughter, who is a junior in college.
I know.
I know where my daughter is at this exact second because she shares her location with her parents on the phone. This is not uncommon. Lots of kids have that share location because they're on a family plan, and you have the share location. Like there's helicopter parenting, and then there's just sort of modern parenting where you kind of know you can put your hand on your kid pretty, you know, these days and times we live in. The notion that these 5 teenagers are in this middle-aged woman's house and their parents don't catch wind of it at all stretches the bonds of credibility. But okay, maybe these 5 kids, maybe
they're tight.
Maybe they're, you know, their parents are letting them free. These are free-range parents. Maybe they. But at some point in the film, it becomes the party house.
Yes.
So now there are dozens of kids
coming and going.
Coming and going. There is social media involved. This is not a reality web that there isn't Instagram, there isn't TikTok. Like, that is part of the plot, how they go back and forth. And the notion that no one knows about this took me out of it completely.
I see. I can dig it.
The other thing that took me out of it, this is set in Franklin, Ohio. This is textual. Like, it wasn't just shot there. Textually, this is shot in Franklin, Ohio. And the plot lets you know this is a fairly small community. I looked it up. It's a little over 10,000 people in Franklin, Ohio. So this is a fairly small community. To put that in let you kind of context, 30,000 people go to Temple University.
Right.
To do one-to-one, a suburb right outside of Baltimore, Catonsville, which is where my high school was, also has, I think it said 44,000 people.
Okay.
Just the, if I am in Catonsville for longer than 1.5 hours, now, I'm going to run into somebody. So this notion that Sue Ann has lived this life in this little town and no one knows who she is, no one knows where she's at. She has, spoiler, had this secret baby that now goes to the high school, that the children of the people she went to high school with don't know who this child is. Just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So there's so much about this film that is missed opportunity. Like, there's this opportunity to really talk about what it is like to be Black in these white environments, and what, just and in a real interesting way, especially a woman her age. Again, I think Gen X is really the first generation that was like really, in the trenches with this. And now all of us are in our 40s and 50s, knocking on 60. So it's a really, you really do have this opportunity to deal with that, A.
Yep.
B, so much of what happens in this plot, you get the sense they want A to follow B and then C to follow B to follow A and then C to follow B. And it doesn't care about the details. We just need to get to this point. So it just really, it was like right there, and then it was gone. Performances, it's a half dozen kid actors, and they were fine.
Yeah.
They were fine.
Your typical horror movie
right
actors.
As you mentioned, Allison Janney is in 2 or 3 scenes, and that is, like, saying she's in 2 or 3 scenes is really pushing it.
Really pushing it.
Because, as you say, Tate Taylor is the director. Octavia Spencer obviously is the star. Allison Janney. You get the sense all 3 of them have formed this relationship since The Help. And Allison Janney is basically doing somebody a solid.
Doing a man solid.
The problem with having Allison Janney in it at all.
Talk about pulling focus.
She is so much better than the vast majority of the cast that there's never a moment where Allison Janney, who plays a veterinarian that Octavia Spencer's character works for, I just wanted a workplace film set in this vet's office. Likewise, I love Juliette Lewis.
Right?
I love Juliette Lewis. And Juliette Lewis has that real off-kilter 90s actress energy. Like, I think of her and I think of, how did I just forget my girl's name? It is so random, but played Dr. Smith in the latest Lost in Space. My girl, you know exactly who I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Parker Posey.
Parker Posey. Yeah.
Right. Like Parker Posey, Juliette Lewis, like that off-kilter 90s energy that a lot of actresses just don't have anymore.
Yeah.
Love seeing Juliette Lewis.
Yeah.
And like Allison Janney, Juliette Lewis plays the mother of a teen who's come back to town. Her marriage has failed. She's come back to town. There's a casino, as often there is around these small communities.
That's right.
She's working in the casino. That's a movie.
That's it.
Right there, Juliette Lewis.
Her character, yeah.
Completely wasted. Octavia Spencer is having a ball.
She's having fun.
And you get the sense that Tate Taylor did this for her. Like in interviews, he talks about he wants them, but you get the sense that the subtext of this is you caught so much shit for the help. I'm gonna give you this as a gift. And I really liked Octavia Spencer's actual performance as this increasingly unhinged character who has gone through this traumatic event in high school. It has never left her. And I want to say she unravels, but I think one of the few smart things that this film does, she's pretty off from the very beginning. And then through the film, she goes, so these very isolated performances I liked. But overall, I was so frustrated because I could see the better movie in here.
Yeah.
With a tighter script and a production that trusted me as the audience more.
Yeah. You say tighter script. It felt tighter, I guess, is a word, even though this movie is not a long movie. So it's like
no,
a perfect time, you know. And we're talking about this film. The film was made for a measly budget. It was $5 million to make it, and it went to gross. I think it grossed like north of 60 million. So it made its money back.
People really, it got good reviews.
Yeah, they're talking about a sequel.
Yeah, people enjoy it.
And it's a Blumhouse, so they specialize in these lower budgets because they know they get higher returns. But you talk about a tighter script. As I'm watching this movie, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, Octavia Spencer is obviously having a ball in this movie, right? And the flashbacks show you the trauma from which she's working. And the flashbacks, they're intercut along the length of the film. So it's doling out the story in incrementally. And while it details or shows the trauma that she's carrying with her, I don't think it does a good job of setting up the connection with these people that she grew up with. It doesn't really name them. They're pretty much like nameless white faces in these vignettes that you only through really like context clues are you able to put piece one and one together. I still don't know. Apparently one of those characters in the flashback is Juliette Lewis' character. And I'm still unsure of which one it was. Well,
she was just part, like you said, is like this kind of white
mosaic
horse of white people pointing and laughing.
Right. Yeah. So it didn't do a good job there. And I thought that there were opportunities outside of the flashbacks to just build a little bit more into her backstory.
Absolutely.
Because I read it as, okay, this anger that she's feeling, this feeling that she's having, it obviously is a sense of betrayal from her youth, the betrayal and the trauma of the sexual assault that she faced. But I have to imagine there's also a part of her that there's an anger, which is why she grits her teeth and talks under her breath to everybody, because, as you said, she went from being the black kid in the group to almost being the black person in the town, never having to escape from there.
Right.
And you've got to, and I want to know, okay, what does that feel like, right? Because the movie never really gives you a moment that, while the trauma it shows from before, yes, but why are you now in your middle age? What has ignited you now?
Right.
Because you've had years to do this,
and you're still in the same dumbass town.
Not only are you in the same dumbass town, we're led to believe that Juliette Lewis has just returned to town, but otherwise, everybody else is still in the town.
Everybody, this is right. This town,
like they've been there for you.
Yeah.
At any moment, you could have been out there with your hypodermics, like, you know, taking out these people.
Right.
You obviously, your kid, you had walled off in this dungeon of a house. Like, I'm like, what? And even there, I'm like, okay, what is that about?
I was like, well, there's a detail to drop in the last 15 minutes that probably should be explored.
Yes, that your kid is obviously suffering from, well, I say obviously, maybe suffering from some type of debilitating disease. We really don't know.
Well, I got the sense she was one of these people that, what's the Munchausen's disease?
Yeah, where you think you got everything.
No, where you put it on your kid.
You put it on your kid. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I got a sense of that, but we don't know.
We don't know.
The fact is that we don't know. And
right.
We're not even let into any particular clues of where it might be.
And where's the kid's father?
Well, at first I was thinking that I thought that the assault was going to be, okay, is that what then gave you the child? But that's not what happened.
Yeah, that looks like an African American child.
That's not what happened. And then all of a sudden you've got this weird crush on the one white guy who assaulted you. So much so that you're laying in bed with him while the house is on fire.
Yeah, it was real rose for Emily.
I'm like, yo, what is going on? So, but
yeah,
with all of that, and you're right, the movie makes absolutely zero sense. Allison Janney and Juliette Lewis, God bless them, they're acting in a whole nother movie.
Yeah,
which is a better movie.
Yeah.
Like you say, Juliette Lewis is wasted. I don't think she's wasted. She's just in another movie. You know, like, because she's actually very, very good. And
yeah.
But as much as this movie and the kids, like, you know, they're like, you know, they're whatever. They're kids from movies. It's whatever. The one girl, Diana Silvers, I only knew. I was like, I spent a lot of the movie like, I know her from something. And then I realized she was in Netflix's Space Force. So I saw her in that, where she played Steve Carell's kid.
Okay.
In that show. But it's bonkers, and as much as this movie makes absolutely zero sense, like, she befriends the 5 kids, and next thing you know, like she said, the whole every kid in the 5 boroughs are showing up, you know, from all over, north, south, east, are in her basement. Nobody knows that. The cops showed up at the end because there were bottles in your yard and there were cars parked out there. You didn't notice it when there was 80 kids running in and out?
Including your kid.
Including your kid?
Yeah.
So, but with all that being said,
yeah,
I like the movie.
You liked it? I can see that.
Because it was so silly.
I can see that.
It was so stupid.
I can see that.
Octavia Spencer, again, as Ma, is having a ball in this movie. I wound up just finding myself cracking up at this movie and saying, you know what? For the throw on for Halloween, you've got people over the house. This is a fun, dumb movie.
I think that is super fair. And I think if I think about it a little more, I will probably land there. There are just these moments, like there's a moment when she goes completely bonkers and she kidnaps all the kids, and now this new crew, the new crew of kids, the young kids, it's one black kid again.
Of course.
Like, what is it? Is it a store?
Mm-hmm.
But when she goes crazy, chains them all up, at one point she takes out some white paint. And paints his face and says, there can only be one of us. And I thought that was such a provocative moment.
I did too.
And I said, well, hell.
Where's that?
Here's the movie.
Yes.
But this kind of cross-generational, I was the black kid in the crew. Now you're the black kid in the crew. But now we have this shared experience. But nope, now she's going to get some needle and thread and sewing a girl's mouth shut. Then the moment is gone.
I know.
Then the moment is
gone.
Then the moment is gone.
Yes.
But to your point, there is speaking of Mommy Dearest, there is a farce reading of this where you enjoy it. Like at one point she runs over a woman with a truck. Like if there is a sequel, I'm hoping it's just Ma'ing it up.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, that's in real time. I might just be, because I always like to be positive if I can. I might want to come around to your read. Because just see it as farce.
Because it makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Zero effing.
It doesn't make any sense that these kids, like there are at least 3 separate incidents with this crazy person where the kids should say, yeah, we're not doing this no more.
Right.
The first time they go over to the house, she points a gun at a kid and makes him strip.
That's all I need.
I said, oh, well, clearly a new movie's about to start.
Yes.
Certainly these children aren't going to come back.
Right. Certainly they're never going to leave this place. Oh, this is where we're going to be.
Right. Oh, I guess she's just going to kidnap them and keep them here. Because certainly if she lets them out, they won't come back.
No, of course not.
No. And then she shows up at the school and stalking them. Oh, well, clearly they ain't going to mess with her anymore.
She did have a job.
Right.
She works at a venture.
Right.
But she's and then she's disco dancing with the kids.
Right.
I mean, what is going on? What is going on?
Right.
It's bananas. So, would you recommend Ma?
Oh, that's a good question. I recommend Ma, but understand, if you go in it like this is not The People Under the Stairs.
No.
This is not Sinners. This is not
Sinners.
This is not Candyman.
No.
This is not Get Out.
No, it's not Blackula.
How about that? It's not Blackula. Like quietly, it's more Sugar Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more Sugar Hill than.
Yeah.
There you go, right there. There you go. You got the column, like we were talking about 70s black horror. Let's just do black horror. And the column is it in the Blackula column or is it in the Sugar Hill column? This is very much in the Sugar Hill column.
There you go.
So if you all want to have a Halloween movie night and with the Sugar Hill just kind of fun, farce, outlandish, then this is, watch this with like JD's Revenge.
Ooh, JD's Revenge gets a little dark. I wouldn't go JD.
I'm just saying JD's Revenge is there's no social commentary. I'm just talking about, like, it's no social commentary in JD.
Yeah, but
and I don't know how dark it gets.
I mean, he kind of beating up on women in that movie.
Does he beat up on women? All right, no JD's.
Yes.
But it's
I would say Abby.
It's played as farce. Abby.
There you go.
Abby's another one.
Abby, which is actually going to be playing this week.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Okay.
Play Leprechaun in the Hood.
Put down your drink. I would recommend, what's the name of this movie? Ma. I would recommend Ma too. It's just dumb fun.
Yeah.
It's just dumb fun. Don't just take your take your head off and then just sit and enjoy.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed it with some caramel cheesy popcorn, and that was the best way to enjoy it. That and a glass of iced tea. I loved it. That was my afternoon with Ma. Okay?
Oddly specific.
Well, it was.
Okay.
It was good.
All right.
All right. Well,
So that's Ma.
that's Ma, and that is Bootober.
That is Bootober.
2025, as we tie a bow on that